What excites you about them along with this team?
Yeah, it was really important that we felt like individuals that would fit what we needed and just our culture and what we were trying to do. And just really excited just about all three of them. Had relationships basically with two of them. Maya recruited her as soon as I got here when she was in high school. And we just had a great relationship. And I think we kind of came in a little, Seton Hall had kind of been recruiting her, and we came in a little bit behind. But I always had that relationship and just watched her play a ton and just knew she was the type of player that I wanted to coach. Not only that, just the type of person that she is, and knew that she would fit well with us. Deja Trotter, from my hometown, from Louisville, and knew a lot of people that knew Deja. I know her mom, and so that was something that was really important to just be in a situation where you understand and know. And we needed also players that could shoot the three, and Maya can, and Deja can. And then Ari is a different situation. I played ball against her mom, Kim Hampton, who played in the league, and and she's just very talented. And so we're super excited to have her and bring her in the mix. She was our only freshman because we felt like she would have the opportunity to grow from a lot of the veterans and put her in a position, too, where she could be able to get some quality minutes as a freshman.
6 days. And Wes was like, man, I wish we had 2 months.
Yeah.
But you've been around the game for a long time. Do you still get nervous or anxious or excited? Like, what are your emotions as this date is closing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think excited, and I think we all, when you have the opportunity to be around the game for a long time, I think you always get a little anxious. You get a lot of, because you can foresee what you think the team, what you want to happen and happen fast. But I think as I've grown and learned more and more, I think it's about enjoying the process, right? And so I think that's something that I've really tried to focus on from spring, summer to now. And so I'm excited about this group that we've put together. I'm excited about the returners and their growth. And so I'm excited. We got a lot of challenges ahead of us, right? We start out at Louisville. Our schedule is really strong. But I know it's going to definitely prepare us for the conference. And that was the most important thing. We want to be able to do some great things in the AAC and leave this conference in a great standing.
A couple of years ago, football played at Ohio State. And Coach Fickle would tell you that wasn't his favorite experience just because of all the history and going home and some of the personal, emotional toughness of that. How are you approaching playing Louisville in that first game?
I feel very fortunate. I feel very fortunate that Jeff Walls will go anywhere and play, and also allow to play people. When you have the opportunity to go back to a place, I was a part of a lot of stuff that they started. I was a part of that first Final Four, right, on the staff. So it's going to be a great experience, I think, for me. I think it's a little different because I went back at Western Kentucky. I've been there before as a head coach. So, but I'm excited for our girls. I'm excited for them to be in that environment and to have that experience. I think it's always, when you're a basketball player and you always reaching to be the best version of yourself, you want to play in environments like that. So I'm excited. It's never about me. It's always about helping them, put them in a position so we can be the best. It's going to be a lot of learning curves in that game, right? Jeff's a great coach. They got a great program. But I also am really excited for our girls because I think we've worked really hard to get to where we are right now.
You talked earlier in their season about players moving to natural positions like Maya to the 1 and Jillian Hayes getting more into that 4 position. How do you think that will help you in the end on offensive and defensive side of the court?
Yeah, I think a lot of our opportunity to be able to play positionless basketball has been something that we're really trying to work toward. I think that's the biggest thing that I love about having Maya. Maya can play, she was at Seton Hall and she played the 2 position. She can shoot it, she can play that point for me. And but we also have other people that can also rotate into that spot too. Ariel is a backup point guard. And with Jillian, I think moving her to that 4 spot has allowed her to expand her game. And, so she'll be playing at the 4, she'll be playing at the 3, but I think she's gotten more comfortable being able to do both. So I'm just excited about the opportunity that we can play that way. But we're trying to, as a coaching staff, just make sure that we're putting them in the best positions and they are prepared and not just throwing them into those positions and it's game time. We're trying to rep those positions and practice them and simulate those things so they can be ready for the game.
Is there anybody during this preseason time, these practices, that has kind of popped out to you and maybe had you think, hey, maybe I need to raise my expectations for this particular player?
I don't know if anybody has popped out because I've seen the growth of a lot of our returners across the board. What I would say is that my expectation has risen for this whole team. Where we were last year, where we were the year before, that's just not what Cincinnati women's basketball is about. So the expectations has been risen, and I think the returners definitely stepped up to the plate. I know we're going to have some growing pains. We're going to go through some ups and downs. But I truly continue to keep saying this. I love this group. I love their energy. I love how they've allowed myself and the new coaching staff to be able to just push them to where we're at right now. So I would say just our ability to grow across the board.
So you guys have a kind of a younger team. Obviously, you're returning 79% of your minutes from last season, along with 66% of your scoring. How excited are you to bring in those transfers for that younger team? Obviously, looking forward to making that transition this season.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited to be in a situation where I was just talking to a couple of players earlier, like truly and really we're should be known as a veteran group, right? Because we have some, as you said, some of those returners coming back, and then with the experience of the transfers. And but I also understand and know people are going to be put in different situations than they've ever been in before. So we'll have to grow and grow into that. But really excited. I'm just excited that basketball season's here. I'm excited that to have the opportunity to represent the University of Cincinnati as the head coach. And so every single day just really working to try to be the best we can be.
We talked a lot last year about, one quarter, one stretch. It might not even be a full quarter, media timeout to media timeout, where things broke down at times. And you guys played tough with a lot of really good teams, and you won some really close games. You dropped some really close games, and a lot of times when you lost those games, it was because of that one quarter, that one stretch. What's been the biggest point of emphasis to maintain that consistency over that media timeout to media timeout, or over the full quarter, over a whole half?
I think that's a great point. I think that comes back to definitely what I was talking about, a veteran group, right? A lot of these returners went through a lot of that, right? So we talked a lot about how we start. That was a lot of our problem last year. We didn't start the way we needed to start, and then being able to maintain, because a lot of times what would happen, we'd come out in the after halftime, go, third quarter, and have a big run, as you said. So really just trying to make sure we went to practicing in quarters. So making sure that everyone could understand the significance of what that looks like, right? How we got to start practice, what that looks like. We've been very fortunate. We've got a great group of practice guys. They show up every single day, and we're able to compete against them. So, again, there will be some growing pains. Will be some learning and a learning curve. But what we continue to do, and especially myself, because, I have a whole new coaching staff. So really expressing to the returners about that, teaching them and educating them on this is why we started this way, or this is the way. Like, at the end of the day, that's the part that I love, is making sure that they understand and know. So when it comes game time, they can just play.
As the transfer portal becomes more and more a part of the culture of college sports, what is your philosophy on finding that balance between building your program through prep recruiting and building it that way, but then being able to supplement that by going into the transfer portal?
That's a great question. I think a lot of that, I think it's a good example for us this year, right? We still had a couple of scholarships on the table that we left. We only have 13 on the roster right now. But I feel like it has to be a fit. I feel like the fit and the understanding of what that is that your team needs, not only that relationship piece is really big. I know as we move and go into the Big 12, there will be a lot of movement and a lot of different things, but we're just going to really be about trying to build. That's the biggest thing for us. And when I say build, I mean building in the right way as far as making sure that we get the right people in and trying not to overload out of the transfer portal. That's really important. There's a ton of talent in Ohio and in this region, and I just feel like that's something that we need to do and make sure that we're getting the great fits and fit the things that we need. For example, as we said, getting another point guard, we know we needed that. So that's where Maya came in. And then three-point shooting, Deja, and, and then getting a big-time, so those two we felt like could really add to what we needed. So to answer that, I think every year is going to be different. Every season and what you need and what that looks like.
Last year, I think it was senior day, you got caught up with some post-game stuff, so Melissa came over and did the post-game interview with us, and now you face her as the head coach at Wittenberg. Obviously just an exhibition, but we were joking after that game that, I'm just training her to be the next head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
How fun is that going to be? Granted, it doesn't count for anything necessarily, but how fun is that going to be to see her in action, at the head of a program?
It's going to be amazing. I'm really happy for her and excited for her. When you're with someone for 7 years and someone that went through everything, championships and everything with you, it's just really amazing to see her have the opportunity to go back to her alma mater. And, I told her when the opportunity came up, it's no greater feeling than to be able to go back to your alma mater and, every single day represent that as the head coach. And it was pretty cool because, like I said, now she's able to feel what I was able to feel at Western Kentucky when I was there. So I'm really excited for her. It'll be great. I think a great opportunity for just the fans in general. She brought so much to our program, and then also, too, for our young ladies. She's been over to a couple practices and things like that, so they've seen her. And but, yeah, it's really exciting, and I know she's going to do great things there.
You talked a little bit about the three-point shooting. Obviously, you returned Caitlin Wilson as well. Struggled to begin last year, but really heated up, especially come conference play. What are the strides that she has taken now in another year in Cincinnati?
I think, people see a lot of Kate's about her three-point shooting, right? But, man, she's just such a big piece to our program and to our team. We call her one of our glue players. So that is something that's really important. So she's always talking. She's always being there for her teammates. She's always doing the little things. Yeah, she's when it comes time to put it now, it's really good because she has a lot of other people, some different people that can stretch the floor also too. So with Maya being able to shoot the three, and Bray's actually been shooting the three very well too. So to be able to do that, it's going to open it up a lot for her. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Maya, you shot 37% from three last season. How excited are you to come in here this season for your first season after transferring this summer to bring that deep shooting, three-point shooting to this offense, knowing Caitlin and Braylon had so much success last season from behind the arc? What excites you about that offense with the Coach Hurd and how you fit into that?
Yeah, well, first, I'm just really excited to be here, and I think bringing that attribute of my game as far as, being able to shoot the three with everyone else along with me, I think it's going to open up a lot for us because a lot of teams are going to have to guard us from three, and that opens up the driving lanes and, drives and kicks and stuff like that. And so I think, just the trust that we all have in one another to know that, like, whoever we pass the ball to, we're going to knock it down, and just being able to, have that in my game and bring that along with, like you said, Kate, Bray, Deja, all of them is going to be really, really hard to guard.
Coach just talked about it a couple minutes ago in terms of starting slow last year at times, and obviously you weren't there for that, but that was one of the things that plagued this team at times last year, and then they heated up as the game went along. Does that start with a game plan of getting off to a better start, or does that start from the internal motivation of players to, ramp it up from the get-go?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I would say it's more of internalizing it as a player because, the coaches are going to prepare us. We're going to scout. We're going to work hard in practice every single day. But when it's game day, it comes from being locked in, everybody really focusing on the game plan and being able to come out and execute that. And I think as a player, you have to have that internal fire, that internal motivation within you to come out and say that, okay, we're not going to have a slow start. We're going to get on them from the jump, especially when we're playing at home. Like, that's huge for us. And so just having that, motivation within yourself, I think is very, very important.
Walk us through what that transition has been like for you to come back home knowing you're from right up the road. Just talk about how that transition to come back home for this offseason, how you were able to grow and adapt from it.
Yeah, that's a great question because, you always think, transferring somewhere is definitely going to be hard. It's going to be an adjustment. For me, though, I thought it was fairly simple, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this team, as soon as I got here, everybody accepted me, welcomed me with open arms. Everyone was just such like a family type of atmosphere. Like, I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt like I was on my own. The coaches were great. The team was great. And just being able to come back home, like, I really felt that, like, a piece of me had been missing. And just to be able to come back here and be a part of this team where the team chemistry is great. And, everyone is just, they want to win. So the transition for me was fairly, fairly simple, and it was because everybody around me made it that way.
Coach just talked about moving some players around their natural positions. She mentioned you and getting back to that one position, that's the point guard, but she also talked about your versatility and you being able to shoot from the two. Just how much do you think that will open up the offense this year and be able to help this team, down the run in close games?
Yeah, I think it's going to be phenomenal because it's going to allow not only me to play free, but the team to play free. Coming back to the one position, there were some adjustments I had to make, but it's in my blood, So just being able to come back and be able to control the game, but also have my teammates and the coaching staff trust that I'm going to be able to make the right decisions as well. And just me playing free, I think is going to be really, really good. And then playing at that two position, that was the position I played for 3 years at Seton Hall as well. So like you said, versatility, but also it's just having the comfortability and trust within the team to know that we're going to be okay.
Maya, you grew up a little bit north of here, and obviously the rivalry between UC and Xavier, historically huge. You obviously heard about that growing up. You have your best game of the season last year against Xavier in the Big East. Was there any lean one way or another growing up? Were you a UC fan, a Xavier fan, or did you just kind of agnostic on it?
To be honest with you, I wasn't really that much of a big fan of either one of them. I was Ohio State fan at that time period. And so, but as I continued to grow up and throughout the recruiting process, I had, come favored more towards UC just because of the relationship that I had with Coach Hurd. But yeah, when I was younger, it was all Ohio State. But now, we can forget that.
Don't let her sit in here influence this answer, but what does Coach want out of a point guard?
She wants someone that's a leader, and as a leader, I mean vocally, emotionally, physically, and just leads by example as well. But also someone that has a good relationship with her, because she's very, very big on point guard coach relationship, and just being able to talk to her, be honest with her, and build that trust and communication. That's the biggest thing with her is communication, and just someone that's going to work hard and that she knows that she can depend on in tough situations. And also with her though, it's just if you she knows how to talk to people. And as a point guard, I as a coach on the floor, I have to be able to do the same exact thing. And just someone that's a good person as well, because the team is going to look up to me and, look up to that position. And so just having someone that can relate to everybody is really, really important, and not think that, okay, I'm over everybody, but we're all one team and, we're going to get through with it, whatever together.
So when you talk about some of that point guard being in your blood, is that some of the stuff you're talking about too, not just the on-court stuff?
Yeah. I think for me, I try to build relationships with the team off the court. Like I said, when I very first got here, they were very, very welcoming. And, just spending time with them and getting to know them off the court, I think helped a lot with our team chemistry. And I don't think it's all about X's and O's. It's about those relationships so that when you get in tough situations, that you can go to war with those people that you're on the court with.
So you mentioned your relationship with Coach Hurd. Obviously, she recruited you during the recruiting process around the first time. Just walk us through what your relationship is like now with Coach Hurd. It's grown. It's grown a lot. I mean, we were close the first time around, and it had come down between Seton Hall and UC. And so just the second time around, I think we've built I don't know. I think she's I consider her as a family member just because of how, we are able to communicate. I can go up to her office and talk to her at any time. It's just the trust that we have off the court, and on the court, she's going to get on me, but I know that she has my back and she knows that I have her back. So that's really, really awesome for me.